SportsNation.
Yes.
Here we go. My Chicago Bulls taking on the Hawks, and DeMar DeRozan picked up right where he left off before the All-Star break. DeRozan, more than just a mid-range sniper, shows he's still got hops on the slams. He put up 37 points, 5 of those coming in the final minute, helping Chicago to their 6th straight win, 112-108.
Hops on the slams. Okay, Grandma. Give me MVP for DeMar DeRozan because he has been, dare I say, MJ-esque. And this is why. DeRozan became just the 5th player over the last 50 years to score 300 points on 60% shooting over an 8-game span within a season. His 8 straight games with at least 35 points, the longest streak by a Bulls player since, that's right, MJ. He shot over 50% in all 5 games, something no other player has done in NBA history. I know what Joel Embiid's doing, but come on, DeMar is balling.
He really is. Loser, not so icy. Trae Young, not balling. He had a rough game last night, traveling twice and making just 3 of 17 shots while missing all 5 3-pointers that he took. The 2-time All-Star finished with 14 points and 10 assists. Not a terrible night, but that ties his worst shooting night of his career. He also was 3 of 17 in April last year against the Bucks. Yeesh.
Hawks have been a disappointment, off to a bad start in the second half. How do you travel twice in the NBA? Story for another time. Winner, Zach is back. Zach LaVine back for the Bulls after missing the final 3 prior to the break because of that ailing left knee. LaVine scored 20 points in his return. DeRozan, of course, leading the way for Chicago, but he's going to need his Robin, if you will. I mean, LaVine's a superstar in his own right, but if he can stay healthy, I'm telling you, the Bulls could grab that 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, I worry about that knee. I hope he can stay healthy. Another top story here. The Nets hosted the Celtics. And man, this was a siege show. Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons watching on from the bench. Boston picked up right where they left off before the All-Star break as well, where they won 9 of their final 10. Jayson Tatum scored 30. Jaylen Brown added 18 points. Celtics returned from the All-Star break with another romp in Brooklyn, beating the Nets 129-106. And this one was never close.
Yeah, and the Celtics covered those 9 points, Shae, so we are very happy. Winner unstoppable. In the first half, Tatum gets a pass from Marcus Smart, takes it to the cup. Traffic waiting for him. Jayson Tatum. I'll take that barkeep straight. No chaser. Head above the rim. He lives life only one way, Shae. Above the tin.
Winner, Road Warriors. The Celtics, 3rd team in the NBA to win 4 straight road games by at least 20 points. Let's add on to that. Over their last 5 road games, Boston has not trailed at any point. You heard that right. Never trailed at any point, and they have outscored their opponents by 148 points. It's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. Loser. Not again. No, this is not about the seat being left up at night, Shae. This is about the Nets. This is not the first time they were blown out by the C's at home this season. This is their second 20-point home loss versus Celtics this year. The first on February 8th when they lost by 35 points. So these teams have played 3 times this year. There's not been a lead change in any of the 3 games.
Wow.
Craziness.
And let me just tell you this, too. The Celtics are scary good. Jay, you could say at the right time, coming into the second half of the season, they have the best defense since the 1st of December. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown playing so well together. They're 12-2 over their last 14 games. And that production last night against the Nets, albeit not against all their starters, was really impressive.
Yeah, but here's where you got to caution yourself. Yes, it's fun to watch what the Celtics team's been doing. I think a key to it, too, is when they play a little bit more up-tempo, 24th in pace during this win streak. They've been about 16th in pace, so they've upped the ante there. I think when they can play fast in the open floor with the athletes they have, they can thrive. Questions about their bench, but bigger question about this group is the competition. And the teams they beat going into the break, they weren't very good teams. And they had issues with injury or guys sitting out, and the teams they did beat that were talented. And this is another one of those cases where they beat a good Nets team when everyone's playing, but of course they're without those 3 All-Stars. So do the C's have what it takes? With their first 5, no doubt. But in the sum of all parts, I don't know if they could stack up with those other teams. I haven't seen it yet. If Memphis has Ja Morant in full go in about 3 games, that'll be a good measuring stick for who these Celtics are. But I thought one of the things that was really interesting said by Stan Van Gundy in the broadcast, reiterated by Kenny Smith in the postgame, was people talk about, do Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum fit together? 2 very young guys in the middle of their 20s and the lower end of their 20s that have been in 2 Eastern Conference finals. Yeah. So I think if you're going to ask if it works or if it doesn't, they have a chance if they can add another piece to get right back there. So it's not just about these two working. Clearly they do. It's about adding another one around him, and that's on Boston's front office.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually happens. But the one thing I will say, the East we know so up for grabs. Boston at this point is the only team in the East with a winning record against teams above 500.
We know Brad Stevens. It's a couple hours away. Let's get a babysitter. Let's go watch the C's if you love them so much.
I'll get the babysitter. Boss, if you're listening, please give us the day off.
I think we've taken too many of those.
Let's stay in the association. Suns beat the Thunder last night in their first game without Chris Paul. Devin Booker played point guard, and he had 25 points, 12 assists, and a career-high 6 steals to help Phoenix beat the Thunder 124-104. Booker is the first Suns player to reach these stats in a game since Jason Kidd did it back in 2001.
And here you think the Grizz are going to get the 1 seed. I don't know, Shae. Devin Booker's out for that max contract. Winner, no CP3, no problem. Suns 5-0 without CP3, including the playoffs, since he joined the team, and they won 13 straight without him, dating back to the bubble before Paul was on the team. So yes, Shae, the Suns squad, the team that is favored to win the NBA Finals and currently number 1 in the West, I think they're going to be okay for these 6 to 8 weeks.
I hear you. Loser, 3 is enough. Rookie Josh Giddey had 15 points, 9 boards, 6 dimes, ending his run of consecutive triple-doubles at 3 games. That was the first rookie since Oscar Robertson in 1960 and 1961 to have at least 3 straight triple-doubles. Josh Giddey up. All right, let's keep it moving to around the association. The association back in action after the All-Star break, and last
night,
Thank the
heavens.
Right, didn't disappoint. We start with Warriors at Trailblazers, and normally Steph Curry is all about the points. But Jay, last night he was about
the assistants. He assisted on 33 of their points last night, the 3rd most in a game in his career, and the most since 2014.
Finished with 18, 14 dimes, the 6th time in his career finishing with double-digit assists, and the Warriors get the dub 132-95. How about the Cavaliers taking on the Pistons? And you know the Michael Jackson, or I should say Jackson 5 song.
Shout out Gary, Indiana. It's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, Shae.
Cleveland down 3 with time winding down, and they failed to cash in on not 1, not 2, but 3 shots on their final possession, including a wide open Brandon Goodwin. Buzzer just came, went, rattled off the rim, no good. A disappointing start to the second half of the season for the Cavs. Pistons get the win. Grizzlies and Timberwolves, and this one had what, Jay?
A very scary moment. In the 3rd, Ja Morant would leave the game hobbling to the locker room, clutching what appeared to be his left hip. He would return to the game, though, but he's not 100% clearly, Shae. He airballed a game-tying 3 with 5 seconds on the clock. Timberwolves go on to get the win, and a lot of questions and unknown in Memphis.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, Nuggets at Kings, and Nikola Jokic had 25 points, 12 boards, and 9 assists. And who are we going to welcome to the what?
The 300 Club.
Mike Malone gets his 300th game W with the team's 128-110 win against the Kings. He joins Doug Moe and George Karl, the only Nuggets coaches with 300 wins in franchise history.
Well, we've been looking forward to this moment for quite some time. James Harden making his Philadelphia 76ers debut tonight. Highly anticipated. It'll be on the road in Minnesota against the Timberwolves. James Harden has not played since February 2nd. Far too long to be watching the future Hall of Famer. Of course, back then he injured that hamstring. Is it healthy enough? How will he look? Those are the big questions. The beard with the process. The moment is here.
His hamstring's good to go.
How do you know if his hamstring's good to go? It's lingered all season long. The numbers have taken a serious dip.
A gut feeling.
I've got the gut in this relationship.
What I do wonder if this was strategic, starting him on the road, kind of letting him ease into things a little bit instead of starting him in front of that 76ers home crowd. But nonetheless.
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay, maybe not. But so excited to see what him and Joel Embiid can do. Because really, it's been the Joel Embiid show in Philadelphia for so long. So now how does Harden complement him? And all those things. Do you think we're going to see chemistry out of the gate?
I hope so, because I'm telling you what, those Nets are going to figure it out when those 3 All-Stars return for that team, knowing how deep they can go. And when Joe Harris gets healthy, it's going to be a really scary team. It already feels like the Sixers didn't win this trade. If you talk to the mainstream, the masses, the majority, if you will, I think it's going to work with the Sixers. I think there's question marks clearly. You know, James Harden likes to be a ball-dominant guy, get the ball in his spots. Joel Embiid, very similar. And these are 2 big personalities. James Harden has not proven the ability to work with other competitive egos who aren't afraid to speak their mind. Joel Embiid's at the top of that mountain. So 2 guys that are used to getting the ball at their spots, how will that work? I think it's going to work because James Harden realizes he's on his 9th life of trying to find situations that'll lead to a title. And he understands that people are frustrated with it. So I think he's going to he's going to eat some humble pie here. He's going to cater to Joel Embiid, who's in the midst of one of the more historic seasons for a big. And I think you're going to watch beautiful basketball. My biggest question is the one you dismissed out of the gates, is the hamstring. I need to see James Harden's body. Can he get back to being prime James Harden? The talent is there. I just don't know if his body's going to hold up. That's what I want to see, as well as the chemistry. Those questions get answered tonight.
His body different than the hamstring, because I, in my opinion. But however, excited to see what happens tonight between these two superstars, because the pressure is on Philadelphia, man. That window has shrunk in terms of winning a championship. It's like a 1 to 2 year window. A lot less time, in my opinion, than what the Brooklyn Nets have got going on. But you know what? Philadelphia fans, they're probably happy about the situation. They get to see James Harden on the court
They're Philly
tonight.
fans. Philly fans are never happy.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.